And it just worked unbelievably. It just worked. Somebody said it was one of the best videos. Someone said it was one of my best videos I had made in a long time, or fan vids that I had made in a long time. And it just worked out. I mean, I watched the video over, and I still watch it, and it works fine. So I decided, I want to use this song again, because it worked once, why not use it again? So I want to use it again, so what I did is I waited until after 212. That's right, after the issue 200, after the 212th issue of Sonic the Hedgehog, I used this song again. And I used it for basically as a Sonic Sally fan vid. And the reason I did this is because when you listen to the lyrics in the song, to me it almost describes the relationship, if you will. Because one of the lyrics that Natasha, she's the girl that sings it, says in there is always coming back to you. It's one of the lyrics that she has. Or you're the one that always saves me, which is another lyric. And I listen to that and I'm saying to myself, if that doesn't fit Sonic and Sally's situation, I don't know what does. So I used it, and believe it or not, it's got over 100, almost 150 views already. And that was just about a week or two ago. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. But the reason is because the song and its lyrics match up to the situation. Now some other fan vids and stuff that I've done, for example, one is Best of the Best of the Best, is a song that I used, and I know what you're thinking. You're saying, isn't that from the Power Rangers? Yeah, it's a Power Rangers song. And I did kind of put in the description that between a minute and 49 to a minute and 54, you're going to probably hear the name Rangers in there. And the reason I said that is because to give people an idea of where I got the song. But it didn't matter. They like it. It fits. And while the Iron Dominion story arc was going on, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to use one song. I knew one song I was going to use. It was The Touch by Stan Bush. Now, I technically had used this song before, like I said earlier, with the Satyam fan vid, and then later on with a Rescue Ranger fan vid, and then I think about a year or two ago with like I said, a year or two ago with the well, basically a year or two ago, I did a collaboration of that with the song. I used the song, but I basically took 3 of the most important sagas that the comic had at the time. Endgame, the 175th anniversary saga, or not 175th anniversary, but anniversary issue saga. It's 175 issues and going, as well as the Urjak Reborn saga. And I thought to myself, it would work, and it did, and people liked it. And I thought to myself, I'm going to do that again with the Iron Dominion one, and it works, and people like it. I also used another song called Fight to Survive. People are not sure about it, but they like it. Same with Never Surrender, which is another Stan Bush song. It works. Some people are not sure about the song, but they like it. But I've also discovered something else as well. I've also discovered that just talking sometimes through a microphone and having a picture in front of you, talking about certain things, works as well as just as anything. Let me tell you this. One of the first 3 videos I did for my new channel here is I did a Love Life series, and I'm still doing it. I just haven't really done it in a while. But it's a Love Life series, and I talk about basically Sonic's love life. The first 3 I used were Sally, Amy and Fiona. And believe it or not, the Amy one really took off. And the Fiona one was right behind it. Well, actually, it was the Fiona one that took off first when it came to views. The Amy one is the one that took off the most when it came to comments. And then Sally was right behind it. And I thought to myself, wow, if just talking about certain things like this can get me a lot of views, what else could I do? Now, just as but you know, but they're not the ones that got me the most, that got the most views. They're not the ones that got the most views. No. What got the most views, believe it or not, are 2 Rescue Ranger fan vids I did. See, I did these 2 Rescue Ranger fan vids back in 2007 before I moved from Kansas back to California. And both of them have skyrocketed to being top views on my channel, if not probably on YouTube. One fan vid is called Hook, Line, and Sinker, and the other is One Dream. And the One Dream song is the one that took off. Because basically what I did is something that I think is rarely done sometimes when it comes to a fan vid based on Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. And what I did is I focused the song One Dream that I used, and I focused it on sort of what looked like a love triangle for that one episode called Adventures in Squirrel City. And I basically focused it on that love triangle that was sort of developed there between Chip, Gadget, and Tammy. And believe it or not, that is what I believe caused the video to skyrocket. And the same with the Hook, Line, and Sinker song. Also the fact that no one had ever heard of these songs until someone said, oh, it's from there. Oh, this is where it's from. And people are like, oh, now I know where I've heard it before, or now I know where you got it from. But still, it's not just that, it's the video and what you center around in that video. Hook, Line, and Sinker, when I did that one, was basically talking about Chip and Dale falling hook, line, and sinker for girls like Gadget, Tammy, and Foxglove. That's why that one succeeds. Has succeeded. The same with, and One Dream, like I said, focuses on that little triangle, if you will, that was created in Adventures in Squirrel City, and is still carried on by fans, even to this day, between Tammy, Gadget, and Chip. So, technically, to answer the question I know a lot of you ask, again, this is how I make my videos. I come up with a song, and then I figure out where it can fit, and it works. Now, you might ask yourself as well, what does he do with his videos once they're done? Well, one of the things that I do with my videos when they're done, is I save them on my computer. And then what I do is, if I feel like I need a little bit more space, I'll take them off my computer. Now, some of my fan vids, CMVs that I've been doing lately, I've been using Sony Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 9.0. And lately, what I've been also doing is putting most of my fan vids and CMVs in HD. Now, the way I've been doing this is I use the MPEG-2 file, which is basically .m2t, instead of the MPEG-1 file, which is .mpg. And the M2T file, which like I said, is the MPEG-2, is a lot bigger, so it takes up a lot more space. So whenever I'm done with that, I shrink it down. I basically redo the video, but I shrink it down to an MPEG-1 file so that I can save space, and when I feel like it, I can basically burn it onto a CD. And that's what I do. I mean, recently I basically burned what I considered my spring session of CMVs and fan vids, if you will. And people like it. Well, I like it, actually. I shouldn't say people like it. I like it. And it works because